I'm going to start here on the deck, but first we got to clean quite a few things up. Then we'll go down to the lower deck, and I will be saving all of these leaves because I know they're not contaminated with dog poop. You would not think I would need bug spray middle of November, getting close to no middle, but I do. I just got bit like crazy on my ankle and it's burning. This is going to be my workstation to put all of my projects. Yeah, I'm not making very good progress. See that little birdie figure? I want to keep it. And this is why I'm taking over leaf blowing on the decks and the garden spaces, because I think my husband's a little too heavy-handed and things go missing or get broken. So I think it's best that I start taking care of the leaves in these spaces. I ordered a new water hose because the one I ordered last time, I needed a replacement. I typed in expandable and they had in the title non-expanding, but it had the same picture as all the other ones that expand. So I ended up with a non-expandable hose, and it has been a pain in my butt the last couple months. So I went ahead and got this one. It was marked down to like 21 bucks. It says 100 feet, but when the box came, I'm like, that is so tiny. Let's see. That looks awful tiny. That does not look like 100 feet. And it's not the same material I'm used to. But I'm going to plug it in. We're going to try it out. Fingers crossed. It is so tiny, but it's very lightweight. And it does kind of expand, but not as much as the ones I'm used to. But when I move over to the back of the yard, I'll be able to tell if it actually reaches 100 feet. But for now, I'm going to use this to water some of these guys after the leaves are removed. Of course, I've got lots of deer damage. So I'm literally hand picking the leaves because I don't want to damage any of the plants. Even though the squirrels have damaged pretty much everything and dug everything up, I'm just trying to be careful. The leaf blower, I think, is just too much for these plants. And I'm so glad I left a lot of flowering things in the garden because I have seen so many pollinators lately, especially hoverflies, looking for some type of flower. So I checked all these leaves. I looked multiple times. I didn't see any of my little planter toes that I use under my pots or any decorative items. So I'm going to sweep them into there, and we're going to save these for making our leaf mulch or leaf compost. Right, so I got these guys repositioned. I removed the dead strawberries that were in there, and so now the soil, I've let it become very hydroponic, and what I need to do now is rehydrate the soil, and it can take multiple wettings. May even make a mixture of some water with just a tad bit of dish soap in there to break that tension, to kind of let the soil start absorbing water again. And then I think we'll plant lettuce here, or maybe baby spinach. So I got this section done, and it's ready for me to sit here if I want in the morning with my coffee. And look at the most gorgeous plant in the world, which is my black petunia. I love it. I love it so much. So all of these house plants that have been living out here all summer long and half the fall, they need to get the leaves taken out, and then I need to process them for going indoors for winter. But I don't want to do it today, so I'm just going to clean them and leave them and then take care of that another day. So y'all keep hearing me talking about planter toes. So this is your flower pot or your planter. These are the little risers, or I call them toes. I think that's what you call them if you're searching to buy them. They just kind of keep your pot up off of the wood material of the deck and help protect your deck. And also it helps with drainage with your planters. So I really love them. But like I said, when my husband does the leaf blowing, somehow they go flying and disappear. All right, I got all these guys moved here and cleaned up. Now, got the table cleaned off, the little table cleaned off. I think we're almost done on the deck, and we can go do the whole yard. Okay, step one. I think I'm going to use my leaf blower, take out all the leaves from this little planter bed. I'm going to remove the thyme and go replant it down in my camellia area. And then we're only going to keep maybe 10 of the celery babies. I'll fill this with water. And we're going to pull the rest that are little. Maybe leave 3 in this bed at most to go along with the strawberries. I ended up having to hand pick every leaf out of this bed because the leaf blower is so strong and I'm not used to it yet. So I did remove the leaves, cleaned up any weeds I could find, took out that thyme. You can see I've got some late fall strawberries there. And this is what we're left with. I left, I don't know, 4 to 6 of the celeries, and I put down some mosquito bits. And here I am just kind of showing you the finished result after I cleaned up. It looks so good. We got to cover it though with some kind of mesh, and that's what I did to make sure those squirrels are not digging in here. It's like their goal every day to come dig in my pots. I did collect a lot of leaves. And look at this massive amount of, these are celery babies, just celery seedlings. And sadly, I could not keep them all. I mean, you're talking about hundreds of little celery seedlings. They all self-seeded. That's how my celery grows every year. It just kind of grows, flowers, and then all these babies come up from the seeds dropping. So I couldn't keep them all. I did give some away, and I kept a few. So now we're moving on to trying out that leaf blower, and definitely a learning curve for me. And I have like a million leaves. So I had this day to practice. I probably did at least all of the half of the house and then 70% of the backyard. And I was tired at the end of the day. But there is kind of a technique, I guess, to kind of learning how to move those leaves along. But Tonto, he was somewhat of a help, but also a hindrance because he kept laying on my tarp. So I ended up just blowing all the leaves onto the tarp, and then I would drag that to the fence and lift it and throw those leaves over the side. And that did work pretty much. It did kind of hurt my shoulders, but leaves are heavy when you get them loaded up like that. And these were not wet, and we were on a deadline. It was supposed to start raining, I think, the night I was doing this. So it's kind of like an urgent thing to get done. And you can see my beautiful camellia bloom super early this year. Here are some bok choy babies that I'm going to plant in our new bed. And there is my sweet Tonto, my new camellia I got on clearance when I got that leaf blower. Best deal ever, half price. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this random fall day video and you're having a great week.